Hello, everybody, and welcome to Paranormal Nation Radio. Not so normal. How's Denise and Ron doing in surviving in Florida?
Doing good.
Yeah, we're good. Just again, I'm going to reiterate something that I said last night.
Hey, Nigel.
We are not in the direct path of the hurricane or anything like that. We are west and north of any place where it's supposed to hit. So, barring anything strange happening, we should be fine. We are 5 miles from one river. We're about 8 miles from the bay. We're 30 miles from the ocean, non-evacuation zone, and they're pretty sure we're in a non-flood area. So we should be fine. We've already had one band of rain come through, and all we had was a little bit of thunder, lightning, and maybe a quarter inch of rain. They're saying that the most we might see is 2 inches of rain and some wind. So we are fine. But those people that are in the path of that hurricane, if you've been told to evacuate, go where you need to go. If you're in a low-lying area, make sure that you're prepared to be gone. Just be gone. And then the other thing is as they've been saying on the weather stations, run from water, hide from wind. So get out before the bridges are closed. So that's the big thing.
Hey, Chad. 2 inches. That's a normal shower.
Yeah.
Right. I never understood why you're in Florida and you're in an area. They want to close the bridge so you can't get out.
Because when the winds get over 40 miles an hour, it's not safe.
Well, yeah, I know that, but
so the bridges technically aren't closed, but you should have been out before the wind got so bad it's going to blow your car off the side.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
That's the big thing. People just have to be very aware of what they're doing.
Hey, Susan, Mike.
Just be cautious.
Yeah, it's like Chad said, the local stations do a lot better job. The Weather Channel, that's where you go to when you want to see what the worst case is. Because they're the ones running around going, ah!
Yeah, make sure you bring a fire extinguisher for their hair because their hair's on fire. But yeah.
I know one place you can go watch is Ryan Hall Y'all on YouTube. He's live right now with chasers down there watching everything that's going on, because some of this wind, when it comes in to the land, they say is going to produce some either water spouts or tornadoes.
There's already been a couple.
Has there?
Down south.
But
down by
he's live there. Yeah, he's live down there, and he's got people down in the area watching it. Hey, Karen.
The big thing is they tease about Jim Cantori being our tour guide for the next for this next storm. And it's like, Jim Cantori hasn't been relevant in a few years, but he's not in our area. So I'm not concerned. If he was here, I'd be getting out, back in the day. So,
yeah,
I know, Chad, you usually don't get tornadoes, but Ryan was reporting there's a good possibility in a couple of those wind areas down there that it could produce tornadoes on the land.
Right.
So all that area down through there, all the way up to Jacksonville and up through there, they're going to really have to watch themselves.
The thing is during a hurricane, tornadoes can be spun up anytime. That was where, Magnolia Springs during Hurricane Sally, it got wiped out of a lot of, bunch of their trees are gone. We were driving through there months after Hurricane Sally, and people were telling us it was the tornadoes that did the most damage, not the hurricane. So, and Hurricane Sally just sat on top of everybody here for 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah.
So
I got a real good question for you guys. After the storm has gone through your area, what do you think the ocean's going to wash up on them beaches?
I don't know. We'll find out. Same as you.
Yeah, you'll go down and check it out. I've always
Well,
wondered.
actually, we're probably going down tomorrow morning to probably Navarre just to see, you know, what kind of waves getting kicked up.
Yeah.
Just kind of interested to
yeah.
see.
Not going swimming or nothing. It'll be closed. There'll be red flags, but just
right.
do.
You can still go down there on the beach and watch the waves and the ocean
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, we
As
should
long as
have
it don't
something
blow
from
you
it.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be allowed to walk on the beach. We're just not going to be allowed to.
And actually, the area that it's supposed to hit is called the
Big Bend.
The Big Bend area. They misspelled it on one. They call it the Big Bite. So now as a joke, we call it the Big Bite. But there's not a whole lot of towns or cities in between Apalachicola and probably Cedar Key. And I always wonder why, because when we were looking at places to possibly move to, I noticed there wasn't a whole lot there. And I thought, well, I wonder if that's like rocky soil or what. But it's just like dark sand. It's not white brown sand. It's more brown. So it's not as well known as what we found out. But there's not a lot of towns or anything in between there. And we were actually wanting to go check out the beaches along there, just to see, because I figure they're not that crowded.
Right.
But
you
we'll have to
think
wait a little bit.
Unless everybody from down south that's in the hurricane path comes up there to be on the beach and wait it out.
Yeah.
It could be. You don't know. But then the question arises, up here, and about our area up here, when it storms and everything, spirit activity ramps up.
Yeah.
I wonder if the hurricane ramps up spirit activity like it does the storms up here.
It could.
It probably does, because the when we get lightning here, it's really low to the ground. That's one of the first things I noticed. And I've been to Florida before, but storms will just pop up out of nowhere. But I didn't realize how low to the ground that the lightning was.
Well, the bigger thing down here, for this hurricane, it's hitting on the full moon and the king tide. Oh. So it's going to be an even high tide than usual. So if you go along with the traditional paranormal belief that the full moon helps amp up activity, well, how would you like to be a police officer with a hurricane hitting at the same time as a full moon, or a doctor or a nurse, and have to deal with the people and the hurricane? Mm-hmm. They may go crazy on their own.
They might. The emergency room will. But yeah, I mean, those are a lot of questions, because, we're always up here. Oh, if it's lightning and storming, when we're going to do an investigation, we'll get activity and stuff. So I was just wondering if the hurricane would bring it in.
Yeah. And then on top of it, who's going to be investigating during a hurricane when they're supposed to be keeping their ass out of trouble or out of the water and alive?
You got crazy people out here. It's hard to tell.
Hey, there was people surfing there. You could see the sky was this down in Fort Myers. The sky was black, and you see lightning. And I don't know how many, 30 people at least out there surfing by the pier. I thought, the waves are nice, but you're going to get hit by lightning. So
yeah, I never had an inclination to even get on a surfboard. That just did not thrill me to no end.
Well, I had a boogie board until last week.
You still have one?
Yeah. Piper owns it.
Oh, Piper took it.
No, Piper owns it now.
I got her on there, and she is not giving it back.
We got a skim board, but we have no clue how to use it. But I would like a paddle board.
She got really good at it. I mean, in a short time, because she was having trouble keeping her balance, and I had to keep holding the back of it. But hour
You're
later,
talking a paddleboard that you stand on with a paddle and move it like a surfboard?
Yeah, we see a lot of those.
Or even sit down on. I mean, I don't have to stand. I stand enough.
Yeah, with your feet hanging out over the water.
Yeah, so I can tease the sharks.
Yeah.
Have my toes be the little worm.
That's another thing. You wouldn't get me in that beach down there. I don't care if it's got the word shark associated with it. It ain't happening.
I'd be more concerned about the stingrays because they can be in a lot lower water and not see them.
Stingrays and jellyfish.
The jellyfish, like I said, that last week we had giant jellyfish here. Some of them were as big as 3 feet across, they said. And it's like, nah, I don't think so. I'm not going to go. But yeah, they did have the stingrays were out last week. So,
getting stung by a jellyfish that's no fun. But
we're prepared with vinegar now.
I mean,
vinegar takes care of it.
One here and there is not bad, but
yeah, vinegar is better than peeing, and a lot cleaner.
Right? Is it the sting on the jellyfish? Is it amplify it from a bumblebee sting? What would you compare it to?
Probably. Oh, it's more annoying than anything. I mean, it's like a burn, but then it just kind of keeps burning. And then, if you got vinegar, you spray it and it calms it down almost immediately.
Oh.
And
then you'll kind of feel it a little bit later on, but it's not bad.
All these years of going to the beach, I've never been stung.
You just don't want to have a bunch of them.
So
good.
So, like I said, I got 58 years of no experience with that. But of course, if I see a jellyfish, I'm going, there's a jellyfish, and I'm heading out of the waters.
Right.
So I'm smart enough not to worry about it. But when it comes to sharks, both Chad and Susan, where I'm from in Maryland, we would go to Ocean City and they had hammerheads everywhere. Mm-hmm. And down here, they're just been reporting hammerheads since April. In fact, one had 40 babies right near the beach in Gulf Shores. So I want to go and see if I can see any hammerheads from the pier. So the Navarre Pier holds the record for having the longest pier into the Gulf. So we want to go there, and maybe if we can look down into the water, maybe we'll be able to see, some sharks and stuff. They've got
that spot in Gulf Shores, the cats.
Yeah, I don't know where that was.
That sounds like a good one.
But yeah, there are sharks everywhere. In fact, one day we were out swimming. We were at the beach, and I looked down, and there's sand sharks.
Yeah, little baby sand sharks.
Little bitty sand sharks like this. Well, you got a little bit further, and they're about this big, and you got a little further, and they're this big, and you got a little further, and they're this big. And it's like, okay, I'm not going out any further than what I can step on one and get it to go away. So I'm done.
Exactly. It keeps growing as I'm going out further. Well, I'm at my limit. I'm not going out any further because I'm not meeting mommy and daddy and grandpa and grandma.
Yes. Yep. Nobody wants to meet Grandma Shark.
Right.
And Chad, when I'm saying it's in the Atlantic is where I kept seeing them in Ocean City, Maryland. So that's the Atlantic, and I just didn't know that they had them on this side.
Facebook
and Chad, do they have horseshoe
I bet
crabs?
that's Gary.
Yeah. How about horseshoe crabs on your side there, Chad? I mean, you don't eat horseshoe crabs, but they're weird. They look like dinosaurs to me.
Oh, those ones with big, gigantic legs?
No, these are
spider crabs or whatever.
No, these are shaped like a horseshoe.
Uh-huh.
And they have an armor on top, and you can't see their legs. They kind of walk like cockroaches, and then they have a pointy tail like a stingray, but they're a crab.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I would say, I know that I've heard that there are horseshoe crabs down near Tampa and on that side over by Fort Myers as well. But I haven't seen any here.
Mm-mm.
I used to step on them all the time when I was in Ocean City.
Right.
So, but if anybody out there has any paranormal questions, or if you're a paranormal investigator and you want to talk to us, let us know.
Yeah, I know why.
We'll invite you to come on.
I know why you asked that question is, when you have lightning and that, it does kick up. I mean, we've been in a lot of different locations. When the storm rolled in, it does ramp up big time.
Yeah, it does. Certain locations it does. Other locations it don't. Hi, April.
Hey, April.
And I mean, that's why I was wondering.
Snow in Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, is it snowing yet? It's not even Labor Day.
Now with the hurricane, do you have a lot of lightning, or is it just an amplified thunderstorm?
So far, we had quite a bit earlier.
This wasn't too bad.
But yeah, again, we can't talk about it because we don't know what it's going to do yet, since the hurricane hasn't made landfall. Okay, Gary, where'd you send it to?
Today's her birthday.
You're on your phone.
April.
Oh, happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, April.
Yep. I haven't been on Facebook today to see whose birthdays it is.
So be nice.
Be nice? Huh, damn. I was planning on being a pain in the ass today. Oh, I have been.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. But we, let's see. What else do we have going on down here? Not much. We got gas, so the car's filled up. We don't have to stress out about that. That's the only thing.
What are your gas prices down there in Florida right now?
$3.39 to $3.59.
You're a little cheaper than we are, but not much.
Really?
Well, Missouri upped their taxes last year.
Yeah.
And that really effed things up.
I mean, up here we're $3.59. I noticed down Kansas City it was $3.37.
It just depends on which gas station you go to.
Yeah. You can pay up to $3.79 right off the highway.
Oh yeah, depends on the freight charge to these locations.
Did you hear down here? Here's something weird. Okay, you've never heard of Aldi's buying out other grocery store chains,
right?
They're buying Winn-Dixie.
Really?
And they're going to turn part of the Winn-Dixie stores into Aldi's and keep some of the Winn-Dixies.
Yeah,
and
that could be a
after
good thing.
seeing the prices at Winn-Dixie, I can see where that's a good idea. Winn-Dixie it's a good store.
Yeah, on some things.
It's not pretty like Publix, but it's more like, remember Price Chopper before it got fancier?
Yeah.
Not when it was the big box store and they just, did what Aldi does.
Right.
It's between Aldi and Hy-Vee is what Winn-Dixie is, as far as stature goes. It's, there you go. Winn-Dixie's based out of Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. I like Winn-Dixie. I don't like their meat prices. Their meat prices are too high. But, it is what it is. Everybody's got their favorite store. But like I said, here, we've got 5 or 6 different grocery stores to pick from, where back in Kansas City, we had 5 or 6, but we had to drive a long way to get to those 5 or 6.
Exactly.
But it's weird that they're, suddenly Aldi's buying somebody else. So I don't know. Yeah,
the company I used to work for, Coinstar, that's Winn-Dixie's one of their biggest accounts in this area. So I don't know. Aldi they don't have the machines in their stores, in the Aldi stores. So I don't know if they're going to keep them or not.
Well, they may have to. It depends on the contract that your company.
Not if they're bought out. Yeah. They don't have to go by that.
No, because they no longer exist.
See, they used to have them. Publix was one of the bigger ones, other than the Walmarts in this area. and Publix kicked them out, the Coinstar's. There's a lot of Publix.
Yes.
Right.
We have 3. No, we have 5 down here. 5 Publix within 10 miles.
Right.
And we have
Nigel, we're doing all great today.
We are. And April, that's how it was at our old house.
Yeah.
There was, the only way DoorDash delivered to our house was because the kids would call and say, "Do you need something, Mom?" So, because the kids were the ones doing DoorDash down there. So,
well, it's like up here, we got the grocery store, which is 2 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
Or I got a grocery store that is 13 miles away in Hamilton.
Yep.
Or I got 2 big, gigantic grocery stores in Cameron, which are 25 minutes away.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
that's how it was at our old house. We had one grocery store that was 3 minutes away, and everything else was at least 17 miles away. Mm-hmm. And it didn't matter what it was at least that far away. And Chad, what I heard is that they are keeping some of the Winn-Dixies and changing some to Aldi. And I guarantee that they'll probably close some stores completely and not reopen them, because I don't see us getting another Aldi in this area for the 25,000 people that it's serving. I just don't see them doing that. So
right.
But yep, that's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. But I don't know. But this so what are you planning on doing next week for Labor Day?
This week
for Labor Day, show wise next week.
Let's see. Monday night, Monday will be Labor Day anyway.
Right.
So probably won't have no shows at all.
Right.
We're not doing yours. We probably won't do our Born TV after 9 that night. The weekend shows will probably still be on and everything, because we're getting quite a few listeners on the weekends and replays. So unless they let me know that they don't want to do it on that weekend, I haven't heard yet. I'll find out.
Okay.
How's Chris doing?
Anyway, Chris is doing good and everything. His medicine and stuff, and he's doing real good.
Good, April. I'm glad to hear that you guys will be volunteering. That sounds like fun. So I am working on getting us some more guests lined up, some people we've never had on before, so that we can grill them. We can grill them because we don't know them, and maybe get to know them a lot better. I'm planning on meeting up with one of the guests that I'm going to be having on. I know it sounds creepy, but he lives here in the area, so I figured it'd be okay to go meet him. And so we're going to do that. And we're working on just figuring out what else is around, at this point. Because I feel like we've been here now long enough to where when somebody says a place, we may be able to find it, or at least in our heads know about where it's at. Right. When we mention stuff, if we mention something up in Kansas City, we can see where it is in our head. Here, so far, we haven't been able to do that. But now I think we are now.
Good night, Nigel.
So I think that.
Good night, Nigel. Have a great evening.
There's a couple places that are free places that we can go, like the Arcadia Mill. I don't know if you remember that from any of the shows with Rob or Erica. They had mentioned that as being haunted. Mm-hmm. This area here was huge for mills back in the day. Still is. We see tree trucks, coal trucks and stuff.
Right.
I guess you should say lumber, but they look like trees, okay, going up the road. There's a bunch of those around here. The Baghdad Mill site is supposed to be haunted as well. And Leah says she's been there. She says it's really neat. It looks like there could be alligators and stuff out there. So we're going to check those out and see what we can find. The weather's almost now going to be nice enough for us to go check out the graveyard without the mosquitoes and the heat.
Right.
The last thing you want is for me to be in the graveyard yelling, "I'm melting! I'm melting!" So then they'll say, "Oh my God, there's a witch in the graveyard."
Right.
Now we haven't seen any alligators here yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen a one. And honestly,
no,
all we've seen is
I think
so.
This Thursday, so we don't have any shows on Thursday night and everything, and I don't have to worry about Tammy and everything. I think I'm gonna go down after I get off work with Gary and go to the cemetery, and we may go live.
Oh, good.
There Thursday night, because a lot of people, I haven't seen the cemetery in quite a while.
He said he's got some pictures from last night.
Yeah.
He said he shared them with me, but I don't know where.
I don't know. I'll have to go down there and see, but that way we'll do, an hour or so of live video showing the cemetery again, because it's getting into summer, close to fall season coming up, where some people might want to come up and investigate it or different things, but get him out of the house and we can get together and film it down there.
That'd be good.
Yeah, haven't done that for a while.
Yeah,
I don't see.
And if I don't do that, then I'll go up here in the big old 2-story house, the other one up here, where there was reports of spirits in it, and it's completely empty and cleaned out right now. So I may walk in there and investigate it too.
I got some weird message. It says my payment to Amazon is going to process on the 3rd through an account that I don't have set up on Amazon.
right.
You got that too, right? I got a couple of messages
for
from
$24?
certain places.
Yeah,
Your order is being sent out, and I'm going, I haven't ordered nothing for a while. What are you sending out?
They don't do that anymore.
I'll wait and see what shows up at the door, because anymore, I don't know.
The email address looks like a valid email address. And, I deal with phishing all the time at work, and I know that that's possibly what this is, but I don't know. I just know I didn't order anything with my Pridemore PR or my Paranormal Pride radio email.
Right.
So,
yeah, you didn't.
I know I didn't. So I'll just report it, and hopefully won't process. It can't process, doesn't have my card number, because I don't have one for Paranormal Pride. So I don't know. But so hopefully you guys can do that and we can check it out. And like I said, Gary, I didn't get your pictures unless you sent them. I don't even see anything in my Facebook Messenger. So
Gary's getting ready to finish mowing his yard right now, and he said he caught a lot of orbs last night, so he must have went out to the cemetery there last night. So hard to tell. I got to see what's going out there and see how our unknown Indian grave is doing, and all the other graves that hopefully nobody has messed with.
Well, Gary's got the camera out there, right? Or did it already die?
Oh no, he goes out there.
Yeah, he's mowing the cemetery.
Battery and car. So. No, he's at the cemetery.
Yeah.
Oh, he must be on his phone. Must have Facebook on his phone.
Oh,
good. That means you get signal out there.
Right.
I haven't tried my new phone yet to see if I get signal out there.
I know that I did when I was out there, because I remember we went live, and then
I know on our old phone when I went live for those 4 hours out there, it did real good. But
it did.
Now that I got T-Mobile, I'll have to see how their signal holds up out there. He's still at home.
It's quite
he hasn't went out there yet.
That those were twin flames that passed away. Maybe people who used to live out there that were married or not married and just loved each other, and when they died, they got connected. That could be what's going on there. Because it's unusual for there to be connection.
You ever seen two connected?
I usually discount orbs
not
completely anymore. So unless there's some reason for me to unless I feel something with them, I don't usually even look at them anymore.
I disconnect them a lot unless I can see them with my naked eye during the daytime.
Yeah.
Now, if I see a ball of light going across somewhere and there's no sunshine shining through a window, then that makes me wonder.
Yeah, and if you're seeing a snowstorm, if you're looking through your camera lens and you see a buttload of orbs and it looks like a snowstorm or rain or anything like that,
it's dust.
Discount that completely.
It's dust, it's rain, moisture particles,
Bugs.
Anything like that. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the cemetery, for everybody out there, the cemetery they're talking about is one that Carl and Gary take care of. It's out in the middle of nowhere. And we've been out there a few times. When you take pictures, you will get orbs in the pictures in the cemetery part. But I've taken pictures outside of it in the woods and that, nothing. It's just in the cemetery area.
Yeah, it's
it's
a different place out there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not your normal, not so normal cemetery, I guess we could say.
Yeah.
Because it's
got character.
It's got character, it's got history, it's got what little history we can get out of it, because all the records in the county were lost in the fire in 1896. So you don't know much about Caldwell County.
Yeah, the only way you're going to get information about that cemetery is from other towns' newspapers.
Mm-hmm.
In those eras of the stuff that did get destroyed. And luckily, one way to get that is obituaries are usually printed up in other towns' papers. So you can find some of that stuff. And what's really bad is that your cemetery there has changed names multiple times.
Right.
And if you don't know that and you see that this person was buried at, say, Spring Hill Cemetery, you may not know that Spring Hill equals Cox Cemetery.
Exactly.
Yeah, the horse picture Gary's talking about. Do you have that on you, Carl?
Carl always has that.
Put that one out real quick.
But it's the same as...
This one's a really good picture.
But it's the same as
this was a trail cam one.
It's the same as if they say something like, the New York Cemetery there, New York Township Cemetery.
And that was taken with the trail cam at night.
Yeah, that was snapped with trail cam and everything. And I mean,
yeah.
Where that camera is placed is at the edge of the timber, and right on the other side of the timber is grass and then a road. So, yeah, that's a unique, and that camera's been there several times in that same position and has never caught anything like that. So, it always brings up questions on it, But what intrigued me was the shape of it and everything. Yeah, you can
see the mane and everything.
You can see it. Mane is day.
Eyes, neck.
But we don't know. So, I don't know.
A lot of what I see are branches.
You didn't see it? You still don't see it?
No, I see it.
Okay.
I see what...
I was looking to see if I could see... I never even looked to see if anything was riding it.
So,
I was started to look at that. I was like,
And Chad, thank you for the links to the weather stuff. Mike's weather page, somebody sent me this morning, and I have already subscribed it or already liked his page because I figured that would be helpful throughout.
Not the guy that Lindsay said to watch? Or
no, the one Lindsay said to watch is Sphinx. Yeah. So Lindsay sent us a weather page for Sphinx. So if you're looking for that, he's in this area where we live, and he goes live. I think he's up in Bruton, Alabama.
Yep.
So, but I appreciate any information I can get.
Yeah, that's our plan tomorrow is to head down to the beach and see what kind of waves we get.
Where am I supposed to?
We're it's supposed to hit, I guess, early tomorrow. Well, in the morning,
8 a.m.
8 o'clock. So we're probably from Navarre Beach to there's 150 miles, maybe.
Yeah,
right in there. We should see something. I mean, should be kicking up some waves.
It should. Bigger waves than normal down there. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Right now
I like it when it's yellow flag day and you got the big waves, and as long as they don't have a ton of jellyfish out there stinging you, we kind of like it like that because you can do a lot more stuff.
Now on that big long pier, when they close down the beach, do they close down that pier?
Oh yeah.
If they're shutting it down for the hurricane, yes, but if there's double red flag day and it's not dangerous,
they can still fish.
Yeah, they can still fish. It's a fishing pier. Oh. So I would assume that they'll leave it open as long as it's not hazardous to the fishermen.
What's funny
as long as nobody blows off of it.
Nah. What's funny is you see all these people fishing off this pier on both sides, but yet you have people swimming in the area that they're fishing.
Yeah, I'm like
they're using the humans as bait.
Just go further away.
No, they're using the humans as bait. It draws the fish
yes.
in. I guess. I don't know.
They're using them as chum.
So we were at the part of the beach where it's meant for swimming.
Come here, people. We need more chum.
You know, all this stuff. Okay. And here's this guy with a fishing pole, and he's got it sitting in.
Oh, right as you walk in.
And I'm like, what made you think that people weren't going to be swimming here? So our county is trying to make it illegal for them to do that because people are getting attacked by things in the water.
No, Chad, we just assumed all these idiots were tourists.
Yeah, we did. We assumed that they were tourists. But the guy next to us had just moved here 2 months ago, and he had a fishing pole.
Well, he had a pole, but he didn't have the line out.
He had taken it out of the water by the time we got there. But still, he moved here from Colorado. And I'm like, what are you thinking?
Okay, Gary, be safe. I'll get a hold of you Thursday after work, Gary.
Did you hear about the lady that got stung by a stingray, laid back and got back? Oh.
Got in back.
I don't get it. I have dyslexia.
She got stung by a stingray and laid back for a little bit and then got back in the water. I don't know.
Or got stung in the back or laid back.
So
Chad said he saw it.
When
I don't know what
this?
they're talking about.
Was this in Destin?
Oh yeah, well what's his name got stung?
Steve
Irwin. Yeah, I was working midnight shift. Of course, it's the other side of the world. So we were listening to the radio, and they said we got bad news to report.
Oh,
Steve Irwin has passed away. Okay, so we all start making bets. All right, what killed him? We had alligators, snake bite, poisonous snake. I mean, you name it, shark, everything. And then it comes out a stingray. We're like, okay, seriously, what got him? A stingray. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. All the stuff the guy messed with.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow.
They're not usually, I mean, yeah, they're dangerous. No. The spine is dangerous, but the rest of it, it's not like a manta ray.
Up in her back. Oh. So he laid back in the water. Yeah. Yeah, I guess they had stingrays. What was it, 2 days ago?
Dauphin Island.
The Dauphin Island, yeah, they had a bunch of them out there. So
they had yellow and purple flag.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, be aware if you come here. And most people were thinking, oh, it's just jellyfish. It's like, when they started talking about the pink meanies, I told him, I said, I had to look that up. I didn't know what in the hell that meant, but I figured they were jellyfish.
Oh, I said giant red meanies.
And rare. And the question is when you asked us about jellyfish stings, are some of them worse than others? Probably.
I'd say probably that one would.
I
and
guess.
then on top of it, some are poisonous.
Chad sent you a pic.
Oh. He's always good at sending pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not good.
Dang.
Did they cut that off of the stingray or did it just fall off?
Or did it break off?
Probably broke.
It looks like it's cut.
They cut it. Yeah, they probably cut it.
Oh my God.
It's stuck on her back.
It just stuck on it, not stuck in her.
That's what it looks like. It looks like it's stuck. Well, no.
That could have went
actually, if you look right here.
Yeah, they cut it.
You can see the little sting. The point.
The barb, yeah.
Oh, God. So, yeah, they cut it off.
Evelyn said they cut it.
Yeah, they had to get her to the hospital. Like,
oh my God.
Oh, this is worse.
Oh, crap.
That looks disgusting.
Let me see it.
So look before you lay down.
Yep.
They better have shot her up with a bunch of shit to keep her numb.
They had to have.
That's enough to make me not want to go.
Well, at least we know when they load her on the stretcher, they load her face down.
Yeah. Butt up.
Hopefully.
Yep.
Well, it makes me take Purple Day much more seriously at the beach. So
that's when there's things like that in the water that I'm not.
Yeah, I had a lot of yellow and purple this last week.
We figured there would be because of the stirring up.
Yeah, stirring stuff up, a week before.
Right.
We kind of knew something was going to be coming.
Yeah. You could tell. It's like today I told him, I said, I knew it was going to start doing something soon because all the insects were out. You could hear them all this morning. And then
that's already pre-written.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
But
I don't know what that is.
That's
spam.
So everybody down there probably have tied up their boats, or they turn them loose in the ocean and let them come back in. What do they do?
No, they actually had a person on TV that was talking about it, that they've got these really huge anchors and they take them out past the breakwater and they anchor them down with with longer chain and heavier weights, and they try to get them out past there to where they're not going to get hit. But again, as it goes, we all know everybody loves their boats on the day they get them and the day they get rid of them. So
yeah.
I don't know. It seems like they love their boats, and then a hurricane comes. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. But again, we talked about that.
It is. It's funny.
Ron and I talked about it, and if they're telling me to get the hell out, the last thing I'm going to be worried about is my insured boat.
Yeah, but you have time to do all that.
No, you don't always have time. You don't always have time, and I guarantee Chad's going to say I'm right because they didn't have time, and you don't have enough dry dock space inland for stuff to go. And think about it, the people that have to do all that dry dock have to get their families safe too. So you're going to have a lot of people saying, no, I can't do it.
Load your stuff up and get on the boat and drive the other side of Florida.
No.
Or down.
No, you'd go.
Just go a little further down.
You go east, or you go west.
Or west.
This one is west.
Go to Gulf Shores. Hang out there for a few days.
Yeah, I was going to say go west towards New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean, kind of know the track and everything and about when, so you got time.
Yeah, this isn't one where you'd go east because it's hitting a lot of Florida.
Right.
Florida's way too skinny for some of these storms. I remember years ago, we had a hurricane hit the East Coast, and then it came across and then built back up, hit the West Coast, and then came up and hit Louisiana, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of the storms that I had to clean up. And it was the year of Charlie, Florence.
Yeah,
all
no,
of them.
That's one state we wouldn't live in.
Not
Louisiana, they get smacked.
In fact, one of our neighbors.
Our neighbors, they got tired of getting hit by hurricanes. That's why they moved here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They had two in 1 year.
In April,
2 years ago.
I don't think they control the weather. Yet.
I don't either.
Yet.
I know that they can salt the clouds and make it rain, but I think that's a conspiracy theory that a lot of people want to feed into, same as the chemtrails. And, we could go into a lot of things, but I believe it's a conspiracy theory.
It's Mother Nature.
Yeah. It's
creating
been doing it for
does.
thousands of years.
It's like up here. It's Mother Nature. Storms build up. It starts rotating. It doesn't take long for that tail to come out of the sky and hit the ground.
Because, I mean, if they really could manipulate the weather, don't you think they'd manipulate it to where we don't have to have some? I mean, they might keep it to where people die, but they wouldn't want to have to keep rebuilding infrastructure.
Yep, Chad's right.
Right.
Yeah, they don't.
I mean, yeah, they've been happening forever. It's not. I mean, go back to the 1900s. More people died during hurricanes back then than they're dying now. But that's probably because we have more notice.
I thought Obama fixed all that. We're going to lower the seas.
Whose fault was it that
that was the dumbest speech I've ever seen.
Hurricane Katrina?
Yeah, people are just going crazy. Like, oh,
yeah. Look at Hurricane Katrina. That one was bad.
Yeah,
was
and
that one was.
And so many of those deaths could have been prevented if
they had listened.
If the governor and the mayor of New Orleans, the governor of Louisiana at the time, and the mayor had done what he was supposed to do. We were there during their hurricane preparation, their hurricane planning meetings.
Mm-hmm.
We were in the same hotel where they were doing all this for the state.
Right.
And they were all drinking hurricanes.
Yeah.
Walking around on the Bourbon Street and all this other crap. We saw them they came back for dinner, and we saw how they prepped, so we weren't surprised with the result. No, because we were there just 6 weeks before. We took the kids and we had a great time. But because I was the disaster contact for Sprint at the time, I understood what they were talking about, and I was telling him, I go, I can't believe that. They're not making any plans for their infrastructure.
No.
They're not making any plans for anything. And I know some of that was due to, belong to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Well, if they were concerned, this is the state. If the state or the city was concerned, why didn't they go directly to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers prior to all this and say, hey, we need to start working on this? Because St. Louis doesn't wait until a hurricane to say, oh, damn, this levee's all screwed up.
Right.
There's a huge difference. How Texas responded to Harvey, then Katrina, that was not even close.
No, Harvey, they did everything they possibly could to make sure that those people were safe. I mean, I don't even know what to say about how bad Katrina was, because I mean, I was working it 18 hours a day.
The thing is, a lot of those people that were in Katrina had moved to that part of Texas and got hit again by Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was Harvey was 10 years ago.
So what's your next choice? Go freeze your tail off in North Dakota, or
we had a bunch of those
or Montana? I don't know.
Well, a bunch of those people moved to Kansas.
Yeah,
they moved all over the place.
Yeah.
So
But,
I keep getting stupid notifications from all kinds of shit tonight.
oh, really?
What?
This time it's YouTube crap for gaming stuff. Guess what I don't do on YouTube? I don't watch gaming stuff. I don't subscribe to YouTube channels unless it's somebody I know, like David Glidden or Farrah Rose, or myself. I mean, I subscribe to myself. Do you guys go out and subscribe to Paranormal Nation Radio on YouTube? Did you subscribe to Pride More Paranormal or the Paranormal Pride on YouTube? If not, go do that so that you'll know when we're live and you can join in and help keep us busy talking. And if you want to give us some suggestions, do it. We want to know. Yeah. You have anybody you want us to interview? Where's our Martian friend? Why isn't he on here tonight?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Oh, I went back and watched that one again.
Actually, we probably should go cut that out and
funny.
Bring that back every now and then. Like all the regular terrestrial stations do. But we can make
I go to his. Remember, he was off Rumble, right?
Right.
So I follow him on Rumble. He hasn't hardly done anything over there since that show.
Well, if you look at the topics they cover, it has nothing to even do with anything like that.
No.
I looked at all the different things that they covered. It was really weird stuff. Hey, Tammy.
Tammy, I haven't had time to contact you at all. I will try to find time this week, I promise. So, between
and we just got something on Rumble from Therapy Range. Cool stream. Come check out my show tonight. We have a good time on Therapy Range Gaming.
Oh.
Therapy Range Gaming.
Yeah.
Hey, Barb.
And I'm like, we talk about gaming on here. What pops up on Rumble?
Yeah.
Gaming.
Yep. That's the thing. Ruby loves that stuff. So he will play, sometimes he'll watch YouTube on here. And yes, it's Paranormal Pride Radio on there on YouTube, but I'm getting the notifications on Pride More Paranormal, which does not do any of that stuff. So it sucks when you have 4 emails that you have to keep track of,
Right.
Plus I have the one I think for us. So, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's amazing how you watch something on YouTube and then you go to refresh it and more stuff comes up what you was watching.
Yep.
Because I watch a lot of laser engraving people that do stuff. And man, it pops up on my YouTube all the time.
Yeah.
And how many of those do you subscribe to?
Maybe 3. 3 different guys.
Google tracks everything you do.
Exactly, they do.
Yeah, I know what they do.
And the thing is
that's why I don't use Google.
I don't know if Ruby may have subscribed.
I don't want to get bombed with their junk.
Here I am. I'm a subscriber of Peppa Pig. I had no clue. So keep that in mind.
And Baby Shark.
Yeah, Baby Shark. In fact, Clover comes through doing this now. And then this.
Yeah.
And so, and now we have to answer everything.
Oh,
right now we're numbers. So I'm number 4.
I thought you were 5.
You're number 5.
Oh, I'm 5.
And
who's
she keeps
number 1?
She is.
Oh, she's number 1. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 2 is Mommy. Number 3 is Daddy. Number 6 is Aunt Lauren. And number 10 is Ruby.
Oh, God. Ruby got way down there.
We don't know why she skipped numbers because she's 2. She's 2 years old. She doesn't, but she knows how to count. But
right.
And she remembers that. She came in here going today, yelling, number 5. And of course, Ron's like,
what?
So, and that's okay.
Number 5.
I thought I was Grandpa Shark.
Yep. And so
and
it changes, you know. She'll start singing a song, Where Are You? Where Are You? And then I have to sing up, Here I am, here I am. How do you do? So everything is a song with her.
Hey,
so
she's 2 years old. Give her a break.
Oh, yeah, I was singing background vocals with her.
She sings this Miley Cyrus song.
She was singing a song she made up, but she said, sing. So I had to do background vocals for
her. I don't know. You know what? I am grateful for this time with her, because these are the times that she may not remember, that we can hold over her head later on.
Exactly.
So, and Ruby, he just thinks it's funny with his sister, you know, because he didn't do some of this stuff until later. And I know there's a difference between boys and girls on maturity. And so it's a lot different. She'll come in and she'll want to play, and she'll go, come on, Ruby. And she'll drag him off to play. And he has no choice but to go, because she will drag him off. Today, she was grabbing my legs and dragging me into the kitchen because she wanted popcorn. Only grandma can give her popcorn.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get some videos of the waves tomorrow. Now that Chad has mentioned recording.
Right.
Pictures.
Well, you can record everything. Like I said, these kids doing silly things, you record it and you save it until you need it. I mean, yeah, it's amazing.
I know. And I really wish that that we didn't have that ability for everything. Because really, do we really want people's videos when they're taking a dump?
No.
Do we really want to see what everybody's having for dinner?
No.
Do we really want to see what everybody's cat is doing? Yes, we do.
Jeremiah.
Yes, we do. As long as they're not taking a
I have no idea. We have a few videos of cats on this network and everything that have walked up and stopped and done everything. So cats are, I would say probably cats have been recorded more than anything else on social media platforms.
Yep.
Mom, Denise just had her popcorn before the show.
Yes. Smart Pop is really good in the white cheddar, but it gets all messy on your fingers. So
girlfriends are for cleaning your room.
Jeremiah is going to be having to backpedal very quickly. So that one is going to get him in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So he should not have said that. That kind of reminds me of 2.5 Men.
How old is Ruby?
He's going to be 6 shortly.
Has he started school?
No. And we're not going to get into it right now.
Okay.
But April would understand what autistic child with some uncontrollable,
3 years old,
uncontrollable tendencies.
Right.
It's probably safer for the teachers right now.
Oh, okay.
So we're working on getting them some health insurance so that they can get him assessed.
Okay.
So we've got to do what's best for Ruby.
After the show, I'll talk to you about Waylon after the show and everything on some stuff. But yeah, I mean, these kids and everything. Cassidy's doing real good in college up there right now, working and getting her college going. So
good. Yeah, so April.
Oh, if they had cameras like they do now, my mom and dad would have had videos to blackmail me like crazy.
If they had video like they did back then, I would have been taken away from my parents for the spankings that I got. You know, they would have considered getting hit with an extension cord as child abuse. And yes, it was, but I was a bad kid. I mean, I know that I deserved every spanking I got, maybe not to the severity in which it was received or given, but I deserved every spanking that I got. I deserved them. And so, would I have considered it child abuse back then? Hell yeah, I would have. But as an adult, thank God. Thank God I got those spankings.
Things were a lot different back in those days
Well,
and everything.
it just proves the difference between 10-year-old Denise and 5-year-old Judy, my youngest sister, and things that have occurred in our lives that maybe if my dad had lived, maybe things would have been different. Maybe if Judy had gotten some of those spankings that I got, maybe things would have been different. Do I know that? I don't know. But I know that by the time that Judy came along, my parents weren't spanking us as much. You know? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, we did fear our parents. I don't know if it was respect, but eventually it became that. But when you're little, fear did not equal respect. Fear was fear.
Fear was fear. You know, you're doing something and you learn real quick. If I get caught, oh God, this is gonna hurt. You learned that real quick.
Yeah, but the thing is that was when you're younger. You don't worry about respect until you get to the point to where you're afraid of what they're going to think. Yeah. Once you get to that point, you don't really need a spanking anymore. You don't, because you're more afraid of that you're going to disappoint them. That's when the respect part comes in, when you're afraid you're going to disappoint. When you're no longer afraid of being spanked, you're afraid of that thought that they're not going to love you anymore because of something that you do, or that they're not going to like you anymore. You know, because my mom always told me, I don't have to like you. I have to love you, and I do love you, but I don't have to like you. And you never wanted to be on that side of going, do my parents like me or not? You know, so that's where you need to be, where kids need to be, but they don't get there until they're about 7 or 8 years old.
Right. Exactly.
So, and you're right, Bart. Kids don't fear anything because people have told them, oh, don't worry about that. If your parents spank you, we're going to get them.
Yeah. Like I always said, when they invented 911 and made them commercials that they put on TV, kids, if you have a problem, call 911. Kids, if this happens, call 911. That was my stepkids. That'd be the first thing that'd come out of their mouth. Well, if you spank me, I'm calling 911. I said, good. You're going to have 20 minutes you're going to remember for the rest of your life when I go to jail.
You know, I don't remember that. I just remember my kids coming home from school saying that the teacher said that spanking was abuse. And I said, do they have to live with you? Do they want to take care of you? Do they want to take care? Nope. And the kids go, no. And I said, if you deserve a spanking, you're getting one. You know, and I still, my first instinct when the kids do something is to, you know, if they hit me, my first instinct is to hit back.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, it's weird. And, you know, I know April, she has seen everything through CPS with her children. And I don't know how first off, her marriage made it through. Second of all, the stress of being watched every day by outsiders. Yeah. I just don't get it. And that's true. I don't think that they understand disabilities, and I don't think that they understand autism, because technically autism's existed for a long time, but it never got diagnosed in a lot of people until about what I'd say probably 30 years ago.
Yeah, about when Rain Man came out.
Right, because in all of our cases, yeah. So in all of our cases, like my sister Judy, she is diagnosed with ADHD. Okay. it was a catch-all. Oh, your kid has hyperactivity disorder. That's what they used to call it when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
Let's drug them. Let's put them on this medication to calm them down. And the last thing you needed was your kid to be sleeping through school all day.
Exactly.
And then they're up all night. Yep, whoop your butts. Yep.
Yeah, I hate that terminology, ADHD.
Yeah.
It's just a label that
It is.
we don't know what it is. So guess what? You got ADHD.
They do the same thing with fibromyalgia. When they can't figure out what you got health-wise, you've got fibromyalgia. Because I was diagnosed with it, and have you ever heard me say
some kids are just a lot more active than others, and that's all it is.
That's it.
Special needs.
That's where I was.
The thing is there are hundreds of different kinds of special needs, and that's why they're called special needs. They're never all going to be exactly the same. And so how you deal with them is you just deal with them.
Every one of them's different.
Yeah.
In everything. Different personality, different meaner, everything. So you can't label them underneath one thing.
Yeah. I think the parents need drugs to deal with the kids. That way they can stay calm, while they're dealing with it until they figure out what the kid really needs to be able to handle the things that they're handling.
Mm-hmm.
But it's scary I'm not a parent I'm not a parent of a small child, but as a grandparent of a small child with special needs, it scares me because I don't know what to do because it wasn't a thing. It existed, but we didn't know how it existed.
Right.
How do we deal with it? So that's where we are. And so that's what we're dealing with Ruby, is something along those lines. We just don't know how to help. We love him so much. We just don't know how. It's one of those things that makes me cry. So, and like I said, I know April understands what I'm talking about, and you do as well.
Yeah.
It sucks, but
it does.
But he is the sweetest little boy when he wants to be.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, been around them.
Yep, I love him every minute. Yeah. And that's what I tell him all the time. I love you all the time. It doesn't matter all this other stuff. So, but if you guys have, and April, I know I can talk to you I'll talk to you at some point about it. But the main thing is if you have that type of situation, find somebody you can talk to, contact your doctor for help. That's all you can do. There's a lot of people out there that are much smarter than me that's going to be able to help you through those kinds of situations. So your mental health and their mental health is so important because it can make you feel like you're drowning. The adult, that is. I don't know about the kids, but as an adult, it makes me feel like I'm drowning. So.
Exactly.
But
yeah, anybody got any questions out there in the chat rooms over on Rumble or in our chat rooms about paranormal or anything?
Yeah, something
that
upbeat.
You would like.
Yeah. The storm is supposed to hit Jacksonville, Barb and Chad, tomorrow afternoon? Is that what they're saying?
No, I thought it was Monday.
No, it's
supposed to hit.
It's supposed to make landfall tomorrow
early morning,
about 8:00 tomorrow morning, and usually the land kind of slows it down a little bit, but it's only it's not very far across the state from where it's coming ashore. So again, I hope it just stay well.
And it's moving pretty. It's moving pretty good now.
Yeah,
it's morning now. Probably.
Yeah, it's moving across there pretty good. But yeah, you guys moved down there in the hot weather and the storms, and up here we're having beautiful weather right now.
The thing is I don't mind the heat. I mean, we've been walking every evening, sweating our asses off, but we've still been doing it. And yeah, it may have sweat pouring off of us, but it doesn't feel bad. Even that day that it said our heat index was 121, it's still, you can go in any place and get out of the heat.
Right.
Except Church's Chicken, their air conditioning didn't work that day. But other than that, but you walk into any place here and you're freezing your ass off as soon as you walk in the door. So, in fact, Ron thought I had changed our air the other day, and I had.
Because I was outside a while and I came in, I was like, man, it's kind of chilly in here.
And nope.
Yeah, I thought you changed the thermostat, but he goes from that temperature into a cooler temperature.
Manchester.
I know. I do that coming home from work. I can even walk in the door where the front porch isn't air conditioned or anything and feel the difference as soon as I walk in.
Yep.
Hi, Virgil from Manchester, England.
Yeah.
Awesome. A lot of the times down here, when we walk into a place, you swear that they can hang meat in their dining room, you know, but then when you're in there for a while, it's like, oh, okay. And then you walk outside and you go, oh, shit, my clothes are being ironed right on my skin.
Exactly.
So it's probably set at 76 or 72 or whatever, and it feels like it's 58, you know.
That's why we've been lucky working on that house over in Chillicothe. I'll have to go back over there tomorrow. We're building a deck on the front of the house. We tore the old deck down. We're building a new deck. At least we got 2 gigantic oak trees there. We're under the shade all day. That helps out tremendously.
Oh, yeah.
So that's only been the nice thing over there. When we was remodeling the house before we had the air fixed in there, it was hot.
Yeah. I thought you were done with that house.
Well, we only got the porch left to do on it. They've had us at other locations. I don't know if the guys worked on it today or they went and dug up the water line that a guy had an issue with. So they may have been over digging that up. So we'll find out later. Or I'll find out in the morning where I got to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just showing Ron the surf in St. Augustine. It's not doing too good.
The other side of the state.
Oh, really?
But still, it's hitting both sides of the state. You know, they're getting stuff from both sides. So, but yeah.
I guess we could go to the bar tonight. It would be dark.
Well,
I know Santiago's down in St. Petersburg. Visiting his brother down there. He's been going live down there and everything. It's been kind of funny, but they should get some high winds and a little rain, but nothing major down there.
They're on the dirty side of the storm, so they could see a lot more than what you think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's the worst side to be on. We're on the clean side. They're on the dirty side. So they're going to see storm surge, you know, because the wind's going like this. So it's going to hit them, where here it's going to be taking the water out of the bay.
Right.
Theirs is going to be coming into the bay.
Right.
So they could have some flooding
the
down there.
Keys get it pretty bad. It seems like they get it all the time.
And they're not even getting directly hit.
Hi, Greg.
So it's going to be interesting from this standpoint.
The bands are.
You know, because of the fact that I used to deal with all this stuff in my previous jobs. And this time I'm here dealing with it. So, but I'm not having to do it as a job. I'm having to do it as a citizen this time.
Right.
But I sent my boss a message and I said, I'm going to be in and out, possibly. You know, we're prepping for the storm. And he's in Louisiana, so he totally gets it. But I said, that's what we're doing. So I said, all we're supposed to see is some heavy rain, high winds, possibly, and possible power outages. That's the only thing that they're telling us is that we might see power outages. So tonight we may have to turn up our freezer just to be on the safe side. That's what Florida FPL said, Florida Power and Light.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that we should probably be doing that in our area, even though we're not going to get a direct hit. They're just afraid that the systems are going to get overloaded for power. So
yeah, Virgil, there's a lot of storm chasers down there in Florida right now.
They kicked out a bunch of people from along the coast where they did mandatory evacuations. So if you were in a certain area of Clearwater, Tampa, Fort Myers, anywhere right along the coast, if you're on any of those barrier islands, they told them, get out. And it was mandatory. It was not, hey, you have a choice to stay. You got to go. They basically said, we don't care where you go. You just got to go.
And Barb said the last hurricane, they were without power for 2 weeks. And Chad says power outages, trees falling are probably the worst.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's
your power lines are up in the air, a lot of them, right? Down there, not underground.
What?
Yeah, ours is.
Mm-hmm. Everything's buried.
Yeah,
buried. But the thing is what leads up to it may not be.
Right.
The weak point is wherever it's not buried, not to mention the substation. Where in the heck is the substation that it's coming from? Because it could get wiped out. So all of ours
your transformers, they're all up in the air.
All of our power, like I said, is all buried. So, but Lauren went out and got a battery operated fan for her dogs. So we have a USB fan that recharges. We have 2 of those. So I think she was smart to do that, to be prepped.
Now, you guys don't have a generator or anything down there yet, do you?
No, but if anybody's listening, go buy Generac. Buy a Generac. I have Generac
Denise
stock.
must have, I was going to say, you got stock in it.
And I'm trying, and I bought it too high.
And bought too much of it.
I bought too much of it at too high of a price, and I'm losing my ass on it. So, yeah. And so
she went crazy.
No, I didn't. I bought 50 shares. That was it. And it was ridiculous. It was a lot. And I bought it because they said, hey, there's going to be a lot of generators bought for during this war to keep the Ukraine up and going. Well, apparently they didn't buy them. We gave them to them and said, here. So yeah. So needless to say, when it went up to $120 today, I sold.
They probably bought some Russian brand or Chinese brand and then gave it to them.
Yeah.
Probably.
As payback.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe.
But we do, I don't know about Barbara and Chad, but we have gas to the house. So in case we want to put one up, because our house is all electric. So. We were all tied to that pole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guess where your poles come
that's
from?
a bad
Pretty
deal.
sure they come from here.
Yeah.
Remember all those mills we were talking about earlier? I think all the poles are made here or are cut down here and sent to the plants to get the creosote on them and all the other stuff. So, because we see those trucks every day. So, but that's what I'm only concerned about, the possible power outages. I'm not concerned about anything else.
Right.
So could be worse.
You'll survive.
Oh yeah. Actually, I'm praying for a power outage so that my computer won't work. I'll take a couple days off.
Yeah, we've been here 2.5 months. We football season's coming up, so I said, well, I guess it's time to get our
Direct TV.
Direct. Well, not direct. Yeah, we got direct. We had Dish. They're horrible. Horrible company. We're still trying to get rid of them from the other house because they keep trying to bill us. But anyway, we broke down and got direct. We got streaming. They sent us a little dongle, put on the back TV, get all hooked up.
Mm-hmm.
We got it all going on our smaller TV, but the one we brought down, the only problem is the TV is so old that we got to use the actual TV remote to adjust the volume. So I got two remotes. So I said, the hell with this. We're going to get another new TV anyway. So we went out and bought a Samsung, hung it on the wall so the kids couldn't reach it to beat the hell out of it.
Right.
And so we get it all hooked back up, got everything up and going, and everything's good. We go for a walk. We come back. Doesn't work. Not the TV, but our direct TV. Couldn't even get to it. So, yeah, we messed around for about 2.5 hours. I mean, trying anything and everything. So we call them the next morning and find out, oh, yeah, the dongle's probably bad already.
Oh, crap.
So I'm like, oh, man. So hey, we just got the new ones. We haven't set it up yet. We just got it this afternoon. But
so you don't have a satellite or direct box
or
any of that?
No.
Oh, they're getting away from all that.
Yeah. Well, that's why we didn't go with Dish, because we didn't want to have a stupid satellite dish. And then we were laughing today because, I mean, we could use it on the app, but we were laughing. It was pouring down rain. It was like, well, we wouldn't have TV at all if we had Dish.
Right.
Not a problem with the streaming.
As long as your internet's up and running.
Really yeah, we got AT&T fiber to the home internet. So yeah, we're doing good.
Awesome. Your new TV, it's a smart TV.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Roku
yeah.
Is it a Roku TV?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got all that stuff.
Yeah. You know, on certain channels, you could have went on your Roku channel thing and subscribed to them and do away with the direct.
Yeah. On certain ones, but
on certain ones, yeah. But I know you get your football package, right? So you can watch all the games, college games, and pro games.
The only thing extra I had to pay was like $15, and that's for what they call the local package.
Right.
So in other words, if Florida State, or Alabama, that's like the three big teams around here.
Mm-hmm.
If they had a home game, they could possibly be blacked out. So I thought, well, that's worth $15 to not get blacked out, for any of these home games. So I thought, yeah, that was worth it.
Virgil, yeah, a lot of people fly kites up around here. We get wind all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, he's flying all the time. Yeah, it's we get it all reset back up, then we got to go through and set all our favorites, because it's got like 2,000
April,
channels.
You be safe and have a good dinner. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Good night. Happy birthday, April.
But yeah. So Virgil's over in Manchester, England. Do you have any paranormal stories over in that part of the country?
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Oh, I'm sure he does. Manchester, there's a lot of paranormal I see on YouTube and different things over there. So
some clouds moving in.
Oh, you got cloud, yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of it move in between
they're
now
moving
and the morning.
Pretty fast.
That's good. So
funeral.
Oh,
they doing good on the video of it?
Yeah, it's Zoom. So apparently this funeral home is has done many of them, and it's being recorded, so I can go, now that I know that it's truly being recorded, I can go back and watch it.
Right.
But like I said, my son-in-law's uncle was a very nice man. I really enjoyed talking to him. He was in the Air Force, which for that family, that was unusual to have a military member in their family. Devin's grandmother had died recently as well, and she was in Jewish, and so she had talked to us about being numbered and all kinds of other stuff during World War II.
Oh, during the Holocaust.
Yeah, and I got to talk to her at length before dementia got her. And the stories that she had were so amazing. So these are her children that she had told these stories to as well. So her son Lewis is so different than other people in the family. But I love Devin's family. They are such good people, and I just feel so bad that he's gone and that I didn't get to see him again. And
right.
And it was also
I was reading Virgil's comment down here.
Yeah.
Did you read it?
Yeah.
That's a bad way to go.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I guess the dead can hurt you after all.
I guess.
I
want to know how it's. I want to know how it slipped off the shelf.
Earthquake. No.
Yeah, could have. I guess.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they have. They probably do have earthquakes over there in Manchester. So probably listen to some heavy duty music over there and bounced off the shelf.
I don't know, but still getting flattened out by a coffin with a large person.
Yeah, it's just.
It was just your time to go.
It was.
And a bad time.
Yeah, maybe you were just in the right place at the right time, or the wrong place at the wrong time, and it's just meant to be. You know, maybe people should start thinking about their careers. What strange things can happen that can kill you in your job?
Well, that'd be an interesting place to investigate. Could you imagine conversation you would get there? The one in the coffin and the guy that got crushed.
Yeah, that he actually did die there. You know, see, in that case, I would be going, I'd really like to check out this funeral home because somebody did die here. Most of the time, they die somewhere else, and they're taken.
They died before they got there.
That's why I never got the funeral homes haunted. Often, I mean, how often does somebody get taken to a funeral home that didn't die and woke up in the funeral home and then died?
There's probably been a few times, but
there was back a long time ago, there was sleeping sickness that, had that happen. But nowadays, they're doing an autopsy on you. There's a Stephen King story. Of course, it's not true, or at least I don't think any part of it is true. This guy was actually, they said he died on the golf course. So in this short story, he had gone to the golf course. Something happened, but he wasn't dead. And he's laying there. He can't move. He's paralyzed. And they're getting ready to do an autopsy on him, and he can start feeling it as they're doing it, but he's not dead. And he's trying to figure out a way to let them know. And eventually, before it got any further, somebody realized he was, his heart was beating just barely, but he was alive. But those are the kinds of things that kind of scare me. Like remember you saw how low my heartbeat was?
Yeah.
how low can it be and not be
noticeable,
and not be
detectable?
Yeah.
I just remember Caddyshack.
Yeah, they had bells in graveyards and cemeteries and stuff.
And I have a story about that.
Scary thought. You do? What story?
Kentucky.
Yeah, there is a story about when the bells were created was because of that sleeping sickness. And I know you've heard the story of Octavia Hatcher before. She had had a baby passed away, and she was so sad. She was having a hard time with everything, and she got sick, and they thought she died. They buried her on the campus. It wasn't the campus then of Pikeville University of Pikeville. It wasn't that then, but they buried her in this graveyard that's there. And 3 days later, it got word to the husband that there was a sleeping sickness. So basically, these people were in a coma and they were burying them because they thought they were dead. So they go to the graveyard and they dig her up and they find out that she didn't die, but she had died later, and all you could see is the scratching where she had pulled out her nails had gotten pulled out on the wood trying to get out of the box.
Yeah.
So when this guy
there's
died,
stories of that everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, this guy, when he died, he owned a hotel over in starts with a W. It's right on the other side of Pikeville in West Virginia. He went over there. He had a hotel over there. He was part of the Hatfields family. He had himself put in a glass coffin and said, "Don't put me in the ground until I've been dead this long," to make sure he wasn't dead. So basically you could see him decomposing in the lobby of his hotel until it was time to actually bury him, because he was terrified he was going to be buried alive.
Yeah, that would be terrible. Yeah, Virgil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Screw the lids down so they can't. Nobody open them. But
that's one way to go.
If you could dig up a lot, especially a lot of the wooden graves, the wooden coffins and everything, and they'd be intact, you'd probably see a lot of scratch marks.
I just know that most of the wooden ones should have by now decomposed, the bodies, and as well as the box, and all you see is this in the graveyard.
If you think about it,
yeah,
you shouldn't see that many scratch marks. They wouldn't have lived that long.
No, they'd be limited to oxygen.
Yeah. That wouldn't be.
It's probably an hour or so. 2 hours.
And I would say more than likely most of them die from a lack of oxygen.
Yeah.
They probably had a heart attack.
Yeah. I don't know how she died. They didn't do an autopsy on her in the 1800s to find out what she died from. All they knew is that she had woken up. Don't know when she woke up, but by the time they got there 3 days later, she was dead at that point. So, she could have been buried an hour before they found her, or before she woke up. Who knows?
Right.
But maybe when they took away the lack of oxygen, may have made her body go, and then she woke up. Something that kickstarted her to go. There had to be a catalyst that woke her up from the coma.
Right. Well, at least, Barbara, if you're cremated, you're not going to scratch in a coffin.
No, but you might be hopping around until you're burnt up.
I know it don't take very long, but yeah.
No, it's not at that temperature.
No. But yeah,
getting dark in here.
It's going to start. You're going to start getting dark down there real quick, aren't you?
We get dark earlier than you do anyway.
It's
just
8 o'clock.
No, we're going to be dark at like 7:40.
Oh, tonight, yeah.
Yeah. We get dark. We get dark about a half an hour before you do.
Oh, do you?
Because we're closer to the equator, which
Right, more than that.
We have 40 minutes less daylight than you do right now, but in the winter we'll have 40 minutes more than you.
Just the opposite,
right?
Of what we have up here,
right? And like I said, it's because
it's getting dark here.
It's because of the
clouds
angle.
Are getting thicker.
It's because of the angle of the sun, based, and of course, with us being near the equator, the Earth is fatter at this portion, based on the sun. So it's weird, but yeah, I had to look it up, and because I thought Ron kept going, it's getting dark so early here. I was like, we're at the beginning of the time zone on top of that. So we're at the beginning of the central time zone where you're at, closer to the middle end.
Yeah, middle end of it, about 3/4 of the way through it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you add all that stuff together.
You look at it, the central time zone takes up a large portion of the United States. It really does.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's more land there's this and mountain. Those two seem to be the bigger areas, but yet you have more people in the other two time zones.
Right. And I agree with Barbara. I wish they'd do away with daylight savings time. It messes everything up.
I know.
Well, Florida voted to get rid of it. But yet nobody's done anything.
Other states have too.
Yep. And
no one's changed it. Arizona's the only one that left it.
Yeah, Arizona never changed it.
Mm-hmm.
So
certain parts of Indiana don't change.
Yeah, but it's on 64. They don't at all.
Right.
Because I thought that too. And I'm going, well, we're in the same time. Nope. It still changed near the exit for Terre Haute, Indiana.
I know. Driving over the road, I hated the time change. Or I hated
even have cell phones.
Time zones difference.
Yeah.
You'd have it on there. Delivery time at 8 a.m. Is that my 8 a.m. time or your 8 a.m. time? And stuff. And if it was East Coast 8 a.m., that means I had to get there earlier than I wanted to.
Right.
West Coast, I had a couple hours to spare. So, but yeah, it was something else. Those are years I don't miss at all.
Right.
And everything. The thought of leaving Kansas City and had to be in Southern California the next morning. Yeah. That don't thrill me anymore. Like it used to.
When you used to drive, did you have a cell phone back then, or was it just CB and
CB and
watch
Comcast? You had a deal in your truck if you were with a certain company, Qualcomm, and everything, and you'd get messages.
Yeah.
Sometimes they were good messages. Sometimes they weren't good messages. So.
Yeah, I know that truck drivers either love or hate Qualcomm. Depends on the time of day and what time they started. And
what's worse now is the electronic logbook that these companies are making you put in your truck and want. I'm like, oh my God. Thank God I'm not in. When I ran with 4 or 5 logbooks. You had to stay legal.
Right.
There was no way you'd be, okay, I'm not here according to this one. Grab another logbook.
Yep.
Build that. Yeah, I'm here now. So, yeah. But with the electronic one now, and a lot of them, it's hooked up to your truck to warn you an hour before your time is up, and it'll pop up and say, find a place to park.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my place to park might be 400 miles down the road.
Right. Yeah, you couldn't do what you did nowadays.
No.
Not legally.
No, not legally. That's why you wouldn't lease onto a company. You'd have to do your own or find a small company that didn't have all this crap
Right.
and everything and still did paper logbooks. So
There's not that many that don't do electronic anymore because of maintenance or tracking for their own for the CYA portion of their company job.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't understand that CYA portion.
Yeah. Yep. They don't. I mean, I would come in when I first started driving over the road. I was leased to a company right up the road from Kansas City. There, big company, and run your butt off. You come in dead tired and say, "Okay, I'm going home. Take a day." No, we got a load that goes out. I'm tired, guys. Dispatcher hands you a logbook and said, "Here's your co-driver."
That's just wrong.
Mm-hmm. But back then it was this.
Yeah.
If a grass didn't grow under those tires, well, yeah. And then he'd tell you go up to the truck stop and find so and so. Yeah, there's your co-driver up there too. Put it in your pocket. And, yeah. Mm-hmm. Did a lot of that.
Oh yeah.
So when you stopped, you got your Reese's cup and your co-driver, and you went off.
Yeah. I got my thermos, put my co-driver in my pocket, got out there, made me a cup of coffee. Me and the co-driver had a talk, and I was in LA the next morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and then get unloaded and go. Okay, now I got to run up and down all over California to get a damn load, and then I got to be in Kansas City the next day. Yeah, I hated hauling produce. Oh God, I hated that. That was one of the worst things you could haul.
Well, yeah,
you get out on the West Coast, you don't get a full load, right? You get a pallet here. Drive 30 miles up the road, grab a pallet there. You may drive 400 miles to get a truckload.
Right.
And now you got to drive 1,600 miles to get back to Kansas City. And be there in less than 24 hours.
Well, I'm glad that's not a job that we have to do. I just got to figure out where I can get the best produce here. That's and so far, only thing I'm trying to, I found it, but the lady that we get it from went to China.
Oh,
she's on vacation.
Yeah, she's on vacation.
Well, you should have a lot of farmers markets down there, don't you?
Yeah, we do. That's what it is. It's a farmers market.
Yeah, every week, 2 or 3.
So we have. It's just this lady is set up right down the street, and I don't know. Maybe when I go meet Mark Foltz out here at the flea market, maybe there'll be some farmers there that are selling their stuff.
Could be.
There should be.
Should be. I haven't been in there yet.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot of places here we just haven't been yet.
Right.
And some places we've been to a lot. So.
And if you're looking for some good peppers or hot sauce, go to SC and check out Ink Gardener and everything. They got some real good deals on some real major hot sauces. So go check that out.
And when he said it's Ink, INKGARDNER.com, and tell him that Paranormal Nation Radio, Not So Normal, sent you. It won't get you a discount, but at least we'll know you heard us.
Yeah. Well, they might do something for you. Mike and Tammy might. But, yeah, check them out and everything. If you're into, especially if you're into the really hot peppers, and I mean hot, they've got one that is supposed to be the hottest pepper there is now. It's
supposed to be hotter than the Carolina Reaper.
Yep.
And check out their skin products.
Yeah.
Their capsaicin skin products.
And
They
they've
think
got
they're hot now.
have you seen their, oh God, what's it called? It's a generator, right? It's a triangle thing with all the gems and jewels
Yes, I know what you're
inside
talking
of it.
about. I forgot what it's
Yeah.
called, but yeah.
Yeah, because it's supposed to help your plants grow and help you in your house and stuff. So I don't know.
You know what? I'll have Katie talk about that on September 11th.
Okay.
She's built a few.
Oh, good.
So I'll have to
What's it
remember
do?
it's
Like
supposed to help change your help with
Plants
positive
grow?
vibrations,
Oh.
whether it's
Yes.
for people, kids, animals, plants,
Plants.
the environment. And it's just this, you may have seen it when we were at the paranormal conference, but it's just a little bitty triangle.
I don't remember.
And pyramid, not a triangle, it's a pyramid.
Right.
And it's really nice. Well, I hope you enjoy your night in the sack with Stormy Daniels. I hear a lot of people have enjoyed that.
His last mirror.
Right.
So
But
I hope you get it.
Yeah.
So
They got all that and stuff. Oh, I better put our list of all our shows
Stormy's got her own TV
up
show.
here.
Yeah, so he could be in the sack watching her on a paranormal show because she has her own paranormal show.
I don't know anything about her.
Oh, she does now.
Well, she did last year. And so I didn't get to see it because
IQ of 3.
Because I really don't want to watch it. But, so he could be in the sack with Stormy Daniels watching her on pay-per-view. Or
it could be. I don't know where Stormy Daniels is at, so could be.
So, but yeah. But, we also got another friend that I have to tell you about, Michelle LeBaron. Do you remember when I had her on a long time ago?
I think so.
She's going to be on the not final, but the season finale of Jack and Kelly's Night of Terror. And she's up there in Virginia City, Nevada. So it'll be good because she's done all these places we want to do and up there near Reno and stuff. So I think that'll be good. So somebody we know is going to be on that. And I'm going to try to get her to come back on, but she works weird hours.
Yeah.
We met her personally at Marshalltown. We investigated with her.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see that. But now that we've got TV, what should we be watching?
Oh, let's see. What should you be watching?
TV.
Yeah. Not anything rated above R.
No, I mean, yeah.
Okay. Well, that did limit 90% of what I was thinking. So let's see.
We gotta set it all back up again.
Yeah. So because we're caught up on Ghost Adventures because we had that on Roku. Well, not on Roku, on Discovery Plus.
Right.
Which is on it.
Well, no, it's on here too, without having to do that. We were just using that as a catalyst. So, Have you seen any of the new Dead Files with Cindy being on there?
No, I haven't. And Brandon's going to have Cindy.
I saw that
on his show.
He met her.
Special edition.
He met her at the McIntyre Villa when we met Brandon. She had been there the day before, and then she went on over to Excelsior Springs. So if we had come on Friday, we could have met her, but we came on Saturday and we met Sarah Lemos instead.
Right.
And Brandon. I met Brandon at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
But yeah, And we met you for lunch.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Sure. Playing music.
And we checked out the place that we ate. Well, we ate and then we went over and checked out another place. Walked through that bar.
Oh yeah.
Down there.
That was it was the River House is what they called it then. And they'd called it that in the past. And then when we checked it out originally, it was called the Pepper Mill.
Yeah.
So
right.
But yeah, that place was always a neat building.
It is. It really was. I like the atmosphere in there and the way they kept it. The bars and everything were beautiful. The way they had them made.
Yeah. I like that they'd left the wallpaper from when it was a brothel.
Yeah.
In the upstairs bar. There, I mean, like I said, at some point I could tell you all the history that I know on the place, but since it's not a place that we can really get into and investigate at this point, it's not worth the time. But it is an interesting enough story that you can find. There is a lot of facts that are in the stories about about that location, so you can find a whole bunch of stuff in any one of the 15, and I'm not kidding, 15 Atchison newspapers that were back in that time.
Right.
About Madame Lulu and all the stuff there and the stuff prior to her being there and after. So it's just interesting. So, but you know what? We got just a few minutes left.
Right. We got all our shows running across the bottom. And if you want to see their times, look right there. It's got their times of their shows and everything. And you can find us on Rumble, on Born TV. So check that out. One of the lasers that I did for our shows. But yeah, and you've seen this one that I showed you the other night. That's all the characters from the Sons of Anarchy.
Right, that's what you said. That looks really interesting.
Yeah, and that lasered, I did it lightly on it. It is just as smooth as a baby's butt on there.
You know what we ought to have done? Is that picture from the paranormal photographer that had all the different faces in it? Then people would
send me that picture again. And I'll see what I can do on it and everything in my software.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's dark enough, if the lines are dark enough for it to pick it up.
Right. So. It all depends, but it would be nice, and I can do it on. I'll do it on a bigger one where it's more detailed, where we can see it.
So do you guys have a show tonight at 8?
No, not tonight. It'll be on next week because they do that every other week because of Phoenix's job now.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good.
What's she doing?
She's working at a forge place where they forge parts for the trucks.
Huh.
There's a lot of stuff to do with 18-wheelers in that area.
Yeah.
Lots and lots.
But
I know that we used to go to a lot of them.
We will be live Friday night and everything. And I think Chris Houston's going to join us that night and maybe some other people. So,
well, if we're out and about, we'll definitely join in. Join me. Don't join me on Monday because it's Labor Day holiday. So if you're here in the United States, enjoy your Labor Day and thank all those that served for all of us so we could have that day off and not labor for a change. But join me on September 11th for my guests, Katie and Katie Stafford, the paranormal science. Let's see, what do they call them?
Mad scientist.
Mad scientist. I was going to say science nerd.
Supernatural Inc.
Yep. And I've known Katie and Katie for so long now. It's not even funny, but it's going to be fun talking to them. I haven't talked to them since we moved, and so that'll be fun. And I am going to see if I can find us an interesting guest for Tuesday the 12th and see what we can come up with, because we got lots of good ideas last night.
Barb asked when you're doing Thursday.
Possibly.
Probably Thursday evening and everything. We don't have a show that night, so I'm going to get with Gary and go down there. And
I'll send out a notice to everybody. Carl?
Yeah, I'll send out a notice. I'll make the show Thursday and everything, planning it and everything. And we'll go down there. I'll do some live down there to show people around and see what we can find.
Hey there, Bill.
Hi, Bill. But everybody check out all the shows. Tomorrow night, Verbal Hangover with Tammy Lee on there. Friday night, we got We the People podcasts. Friday night, Saturday, Rage Nation with Mike Rage. And then Sunday, Go Around with Chris Houston. No BS.
Oh, the one by Denise. Oh.
The Cemetery by Us, we're probably going to do in after Labor Day. That's for sure. Yeah. We're just waiting to see.
2 miles away.
Yeah, it's 2 miles away. We'll probably just go and do it. And want to do it while we still got daylight during the shows. So it'll be pretty soon. And it may just be on a Thursday night.
Yeah. Yeah, Bill, you can watch the replay. We're coming up on the end of the show. But thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
And everybody, like I said, if you have any topics you want us to cover, you have guests you want us to have on, tell me. In April, I remember your guests. I know you're not here right now, but I remember your guest requests. I wrote them all down. So Let me know who your guest requests are. If I don't know them, I'll find a way to know them and get them on. But
no, bring April on.
Yeah, you guys have homework. Tell me who you want to hear from, because I know you guys are sick and damn tired of hearing just from us.
And before long, you'll hear homework that me and Denise got to do on that movie we found out about that we talked about last night. Send me the name of it. The Village?
Is that
what it's called?
Yes, that's what it's called. Okay. The Village. Okay. So check out. You guys watch The Village. Get your questions together. And we're going to rewatch. I'm going to rewatch it. Carl's got to watch it. And
I'm going to watch it.
The movie pisses me off. So.
Okay. Yeah. We're going to discuss that movie and everything. So everybody stay tuned to that and everything. Do you have, before we end off here, Denise, do you have a link? Do you have a link to Cheryl Ann's book? Or do they just go to?
I will get it. I will get it
on Amazon,
and I'll share it. No, it's
let me get through.
I will send it.
Okay. Yeah.
So I will copy the shows.
We want to make sure we get that book advertised out here for.
Oh yeah.
And stuff, because I think it's going to be a real good book. But
and it's been out for 4 months.
Right. I want to thank everybody in the chat room, everybody over on Rumble that's been watching us and everything. Thank you for joining us. If you're on Facebook and you want to watch us on Rumble, go to Born TV on Rumble. And that's where you'll find all the shows over there. But we want to thank everybody, and we will see you next week on Paranormal Nation Radio. Have a good evening, folks.
All right.